Hi, Mike Rice, PENN Brand Manager, here to tell you about a special product launch we have coming out fall 2017. This is the International VI, so that's the 6th generation of International reels. And yes, they are still built in Philadelphia just like they always have been. The International has been around for a little over 50 years now, and we basically retooled the entire program from the smallest sizes to the largest sizes. And one of the questions that comes up is, you know, what's going to be available in September? They're all going to be available in September. So we've retooled the whole program and they're all going to be available at the same time, which is important for being able to outfit your boat with the lighter stuff and the heavier stuff. So let's talk a little bit about the sizing. I've got a wide array of reels on the table. This is basically one of each reel we make in the gold color. Although we will also be offering everything you see here in gold will also be offered in silver. Silver is one of the colors we're offering across multiple lineups in the product range today. It's done in-house in Philadelphia just like the gold reels are. No difference in the reels other than the color. But the silver is really nice in that it really hides scratch as well. It doesn't fade with UV lighting. It's just a good long-term color and it matches with a lot of boats and a lot of rods. Everything that we're going to talk about here today is also going to be available in silver. Got leader, big fish. So we've got a lot of the same sizes we've always had. You know, you've got the 130, the 80, the 70. You've got the 50 and the 30 wide, which are really kind of make up the core. We also offer the VSX series. And the VSX series are just set up a little bit differently on the drag cam or the drag curve. Just a more aggressive drag curve that is built for heavier braided lines. The VSX reels you can see here are what we call topless. Just easier because these reels are fished with braid. A lot of times on the West Coast, guys like to get their fingers on the line on the spool and be able to control what the bait's doing or what the fish is doing. So VSX reels, just remember heavier drag range, steeper drag curve, built for braided lines, and always topless. We're going to offer those in the same sizes. We've got the 12 and the 16 VISX. We've got a new size, a 20 VISX, and then we've got the 30 and 50 VISX, which we've had in the past. So one new SKU addition there. The 20 VISX is just a really narrow frame reel, as you can see here. It's very compact. It's built on the same diameter as a 30, but it's just basically a narrow 30 VISX. So same drag range, same gear ratios as the 30, but just a little narrower version there. In addition to the 2-speed reels, we're also going to offer single-speed reels. We're going to offer these in a 12, 30 wide, and 50 wide size, again in both gold and silver. These reels, they're a little less at retail than the 2-speeds. You know, fewer parts, they're a little lighter in weight, not much, but they're just really dependable in that they have one gear ratio, that you don't have the shift mechanism on the reels. So just a little simpler to work on and a little less expensive at retail. So again, in the single speeds, we're gonna have the 12, 30 wide, and 50 wide. So let's talk about some of the features that we improved on the reels. First thing that comes up is the handle. So we've gone with a very ergonomic handle, fits in your hand. We call it the banana knob, just because it's kind of shaped like a banana. But you can feel it as soon as you put it in your hand conforms to it. It basically flattens your wrist out, gives you a lot of extra cranking power. It really increases the amount of pressure you can put on the reel handle. On the 16 VIS and the 12 VIS, we're gonna use what we call the football shape. And basically this handle knob is built for speed, where the banana style knob, as we call it internally, is built for power. So another feature you're gonna see on the reels is these line shedding lugs. So it's a new lug shape. It's contoured on basically every angle. And really it comes in handy. We use it on a lot of the reels, even the VISW series, but it really comes in handy on the VISX reels, in that sometimes the line wants to jump off the spool and roll to one side or the other. The benefit to these line shedding lugs is that under any pressure, the line basically rolls over the top. So instead of getting hung up on the lugs like you'd have seen in a previous design, it rolls right over the top and comes back and centers up on the rod. You can see here the quick shift system has been updated. So in the past, you would have turned this collar to go in and out of high and low gear. We've still got the same button to go in and out, but we've got a new shifter button on top here to come back out.
We've updated our Quick Shift 2 speed system by making the shifting process faster and more intuitive, by never having to take your hand off of the handle knob to change gears.
This is a one-handed operation. You can keep your hand on the handle knob, you can go in, and you can go out with your thumb. So you never have to remove your hand from the handle knob while you're fishing to go in and out of gear. Another innovative feature you'll find on the new VI reels is our Versa strike position. So with this button right here with a flathead screwdriver, you can adjust the strike button where in the past it's been fixed.
The innovative new Versa strike button allows you to customize the strike position to provide more adjustment between strike and full positions, or simply keep the button where it is and fish it traditional style. There is no wrong answer.
So say you wanted to bring it back and have a little more adjustment between strike and full, you just put the screwdriver in here, loosen it up, pull the strike button back, tighten it back down. It's got a nut in the back which holds everything in place so that it won't rattle loose or fall out. It just gives you a little more flexibility when fishing different types of line, especially when fishing lighter monofilaments, different tournament settings. That Versa strike position gives you a little bit more flexibility than exists on any other lever drag on the market today. New feature, the Versa strike position there. So one of the major improvements we've made on the VI series is that we reduced the weight. So on average, the reels are basically 7 to 10% lighter than the previous generation, what we call the V series reels. But that was one of the key factors when building the new VI series, was to remove weight. The reels were already fairly light, but we were able to shave some weight off in various sizes, especially like on basically the 50 and 70 sizes. But one of the ways we were able to do that is we moved the drag washers from the left side, where they've been historically on international reels, over to the right side. So we've gone from what's called a push system, where when you engage the drag lever, you're pushing the spool this way to generate friction. We now have a pull system. So you'll actually see when you engage the drag lever, the spool's moving to your right. So that's a pull system. By doing that, by not extending all that pressure across the frame and into the left side plate, we were able to scale down on the meat over here. So we were basically able to shave metal out of this area over here, scale down on the frame a little bit, to basically just to remove weight. And now we've got our drag and obviously all our gearing and shifting mechanism over here on the right side. So the guts of the reel are now on the right side of the reel where we had them split. It didn't do anything to decrease the strength of the reel or the durability of the reel. It just allowed us to save weight. So again, about 7 to 10% lighter, depending on size. So we've changed a lot on the internationals, but in hindsight, we really haven't changed everything. I mean, there was a lot of mechanisms within the International V series that were working flawlessly. One being the gearing. So machined stainless steel gearing, same gearing in here. We're using the same type of materials. That's important because that's the heart of the reel.
By utilizing our Dura-Drag material and having 2 large diameter drag washers to create the necessary braking power, we created one of the smoothest and most consistent drag systems ever seen in a big game reel.
That's a proprietary drag material. It's by far the best drag material we've tested, and we've tested just about everything. It's very hard to burn out a Dura-Drag washer. So again, in the International VIs, we're using the same Dura-Drag washers. Okay, a couple other minor features worth talking about. We've added the line capacity rings over here on the spool. It's something we offer on all of our reels today, and obviously the International now has it. So we've got them at basically 1/3, 2/3, and basically a full spool line. So we don't recommend that you fill over that last line capacity ring. That's what we determined to be a full spool line. Oh yeah, here they come.
He's surfacing.
That ain't no small one.
Oh my gosh. Look at this bad boy.
That's the new VI series. Check these out at your local retailer. Again, they'll be available fall 2017.